Growing up, I was always the girl who had no idea what I wanted to do. To me, the standard career seemed like limiting. Like there were parts of it that I liked about maybe medicine or law, but it seemed overall like it just wasn't the right fit for me. I struggled with this a lot, even all the way through college. But fast forward a few years and I found a career that I genuinely love and feel so lucky and blessed to have found myself in. And along the way, I feel like I've picked up a few tips that I'd like to share about how you can go about kind of designing your dream career if you're someone like me who struggled for a long time knowing what you want to do.
Baby, but you know I'm about to keep you up. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm about to teach you something.
I like to start my videos with an agenda just so you know what you're getting into. First, I'm going to share a little bit of background just on my career and where I'm at so far in my journey. And then I'll share 5 tips that I think you can directly apply to your life today that will help you get closer to figuring out what your dream career is too. If you're only interested in the second part of that, I'll put the timestamp here so you can skip there now. So I'm only 23 and I'm super early in my career, but a lot has happened so far. And so I feel like it's worth sharing just so you hear kind of like the twists and turns of someone else's story, so you know the twists and turns in your story is okay too. So when I was in high school and it was time to apply for colleges, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do as a career or like what I wanted to major in college. I knew that I liked writing and I wasn't really sure what majors I could have that had to do with writing besides English. Everyone that I knew that majored in English became an English teacher, and I knew I didn't want to be an English teacher, so I was like, I don't want to major in this. I had the opportunity to speak with someone who worked in PR, and they kind of told me that there was a lot of writing involved, so I kind of just latched onto that and I was like, oh, I'll just do that then. So I ended up going to Boston University and I started out as a PR major, but quickly found out that I hated the PR classes, and so I was like, I cannot do this for 4 years. During the time that I was at school, I discovered a different field of study called linguistics. A lot of people don't know what linguistics is. I'll link to a video if anyone is particularly interested in the subject, but basically linguistics is just the scientific study of language, how we learn it, how we are affected by it socially, what the sound systems are. Yeah, that's it really. And I was really fascinated by the subject. Again, I've always liked writing and words and language, and so it made sense for me to major in that because I enjoyed studying it. But after I switched my major to linguistics, I got questions from my family and friends like, okay, that's cool, what are you gonna do with that? And honestly, I wasn't really sure about the career opportunities that you had with linguistics other than the academic route. So I was just like, you know, I like studying this, I'm not really sure what else I wanna do. I guess I'll just major in linguistics, get my master's in linguistics, which I actually did, get a PhD, do research, become a professor. While I was in my master's program, I started experiencing this weird FOMO. I was around people who genuinely were passionate about this topic, and I could tell they wanted to commit a lot of their lives to it. They would go out of their way to do extra readings in class or know about topics because it was just their own personal interest. And as I got more in depth in the field, I realized that was something you needed in order to do the taxing work that went along with it, and it just wasn't something that I had. Although I was interested in the topic, I didn't like doing the work. I kind of had to force myself to do it. But while I was in school, luckily the world shut down and I had some time to explore different things. During my junior and senior year, I started a blog, and through blogging, I learned about affiliate marketing, which led me to social media marketing, and I started just being creative on the internet. I started a podcast with my friend and we promoted it on Instagram. I also started this YouTube channel, and kind of people in my community, like my family and friends, picked up on like, oh, this is something you like to do. And one of my friend's moms actually asked me to run her Instagram for her business. And I did that, and I ran a few other Instagrams for other organizations, like on a volunteer basis. And I realized I really loved it. I loved doing social media marketing, especially on like Instagram and stuff, and I wanted to learn more about the topic. And I found myself like kind of discovering that passion that all of my classmates had at school for this other thing that I wasn't studying. And I found myself again wanting to learn more and more about this topic, and I would research for hours about, you know, social media marketing, which led me to digital marketing. And when I graduated, I didn't really have a plan for what I was going to do, but I knew that I wanted to be an expert. Like, I wanted to be really good at this. And so luckily I found a master's program for digital marketing at Rutgers University. And it's a program I'm currently in. Having taken 8 out of the 10 courses, I know now it was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. So as I'm in this program, I'm also doing internships. I got the opportunity to be an actual paid social media manager. I also had a search marketing internship with a startup. Then I had a brand strategy internship at a tech company, and that's when things changed. The reason I feel like I gravitated so much to brand strategy is because it allowed me to use my creative side and my really logical side. And brand strategy just involved those higher level questions that I was dying to ask through all of my internships. And so my brand strategy internship turned into a full-time position, which I'm in now, and that's really the sum of my career journey so far. Along this journey, I've figured out some things that I want to pass on to anyone who's trying to get to where I am, where they have a career that they love. Number 1, your dream career might not exist yet. This isn't meant to be pessimistic or anything, but honestly, there was no way for me to know at 17 that I wanted to major in digital marketing, or I wanted to be a digital marketer or a brand strategist. Of course, brand strategy existed, but it wasn't something that I could study in school. There wasn't a major at most accredited universities for brand strategy, nor for digital marketing at the time. And so I think an important thing when you're thinking about your career, I know a lot of times in school they push these are the career paths that you can choose from, but you can think of how the world might be in the future and open yourself up to the possibility that something that you're looking for just hasn't been created yet, or maybe you're the one that's going to create it or be a part of the work that creates that field. It's sometimes the case that traditional learning paths aren't available for the things that we're interested in, and that doesn't mean that you can't pursue those interests and learn about it. When I first started in digital marketing, I really was just learning from blogs and YouTube, and eventually courses came up and things like that. What I'm saying is you should leave the door open for the possibility that your exact career will just reveal itself as time goes on and as careers evolve, and just keep trying to get as close to what you're interested in as possible. Number 2, your dream career might not be one thing. I was always open to the fact, or aware of the fact, that I had a lot of different interests, and I don't know, I just feel like I only have this one life to live, and so I want to pack as much into it as I can. You don't have to just do one thing, and so if you're struggling with one career doesn't fit all of your interests or doesn't have all of the things that you're interested in, it might just be that you want to do multiple things. This leads me to the next point, number 3. Consider your values and your lifestyle goals. So this is twofold. Some people want to have careers that align with their values. And so if this applies to you too, you should really think about what kind of companies you want to work for. Or if you want to work for a company at all, maybe you want to do something on your own. Maybe you want to leave a mark and change the world. And so you want to be involved in projects or organizations who are aligned with how you want to change the world. That's an option that you have. And if that's not your cup of tea, that's fine, but there are other considerations that you should think of about your career other than just the work you do. So if you know that you have a particular lifestyle that you want to live, you want to make sure that your job aligns with that. So for example, again, I know that I'm interested in writing, so I thought maybe I would go into publishing. But after speaking with some people in publishing, I realized that the hours were really long and the pay wasn't that good. And so not only was it not gonna let me live the lifestyle that I wanted to monetarily, but it also would take time away from other interests that I had. And I want to have a job where I can have that work-life balance. So taking those things into consideration when you're planning your career is equally as important as the work that you want to do. If you caught that, I just mentioned that I found out more about a career I was interested in by talking to someone in the field. And that's what point number 4 is. Talk to people in the careers that you're interested in. I have learned so much by doing informational interviews with people who are in careers that I thought I might be interested in, and being able to talk to them and literally ask them questions about how'd you get into the field? What are your favorite and least favorite parts about your job? What does an average day look like? And things like that help give you a perspective of those career paths that you wouldn't be able to get just by Googling it. So I strongly suggest reaching out to people and talking to them about their careers. I'll link to a video about how to reach out to people on LinkedIn. That's how I did it mostly. And I also can make a video in the future about that topic. And lastly, number 5, pay attention to what you do naturally. My voice always gives out towards the end of my videos. Working is hard enough. Like, humans already don't really want to work all the time. You're already fighting against that natural urge to not work. You don't want to have to do work that you have to force yourself to do because you don't like it. I want to be able to be excited about the work that I do. Sometimes work is going to be tough or taxing, and that's unavoidable. But I think that one way to make the experience easier on ourselves is to pick work that we actually like doing. Not just the end product, but the process, the whole thing. I think a great way to know if you're gonna like the work that you have to do is if it involves things that you naturally do on your own without someone asking you to or paying you to. For example, the blogs that I created or my YouTube channel. I spend so many hours making these videos. I spent so many hours creating my blog posts, so many hours that I dedicated to learning digital marketing and to understanding brand strategy more that I didn't have to do. I just did it on my own because it was something I was super interested in. And you know, our interests change throughout our lives, and that's fine, but I think that's a great starting point. Like, look at the things that you are interested in doing on your own. Are you gonna do your physics homework on your own without the fear of like failing the class? Or is there another interest that you have that you do anyway? You squeeze in time to do it no matter what. You can spend hours getting lost in it. Those are the things that you should look towards. So those are all my tips. I definitely think all of these tips work together in collaboration. You can start at any one of these and start understanding a bit more what your dream career might be. So that's it. I hope this video helps in some way, and I hope that you find a career as fulfilling for you as my career feels for me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I didn't introduce myself at the beginning of the video, but I'm Camilla. I make lifestyle, personal development, and career videos here on YouTube. So if you like this video, there might be some others on my channel that you might want to go check out. And I also post a new video every week, so subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Okay, hope to see you in another video. Bye!